Sorry, phone was bouncing there. Hey everyone, how's it going? So, what am I working on now? I just wanted to talk about a couple of things real quick here. So, in today's day and age, you get to see me on YouTube, and I get to tell you my stories. I get to show you things that I do fixing cars, diagnosing cars, and stuff like that. But back when I was growing up, you didn't have that kind of stuff. What did you have? You had magazines. You had, Carcraft, Hot Rod, Popular Hot Rodding, stuff like that. You had Cars Illustrated, best magazine ever out there. This one here, this is Cars Illustrated. And I'm trying to find back issues. If any of you got back issues and you want to sell them, let me know. I'd be really interested in buying them. I used to have every single one of them as a kid, and then of course you don't think about it, and during moves and stuff like that, I must have tossed them. So anytime I find them, I buy them. Anyway, so trying to figure out how to fix cars. When I was a teenager, I used to read all those magazines, Hot Rodding and Carcraft and everything else, and Cars Illustrated. Because there's always tech articles in there, how to do this, how to do that. I'm going to show you real quick. This is another issue of Cars Illustrated, and it's just funny looking at advertising from them. This is back in I think 1987. I think that's when this was. It just says display until February 10th. But anyway, so you have different tech articles, how to go straight, in a straight line when drag racing and stuff like that. And they show you about pinion snubbers and adjustable pinion snubbers. And I'm kind of laughing because if you look at this picture here, if you look closely, that's the floorboard of this Camaro, and it's all beat to death. It's been hammered, but people, they still fixed them. They still, race what you got. But I used to read all these articles and stuff. I used to read these magazines front to back, and that's how I got all my information. And even in here in certain places, they have advertisements in the back and stuff like that. They tell you about these are different books you can buy. If you want to fix stuff like the Boss 302, if you want to work on one of those. Mustang muscle cars, if you want to work on those. Pontiac, driving, racing, rallying, general interest. Let's see. Son of muscle cars. There's a whole bunch of different things here that you can get books for. Hence, car books. But that's how most of us got our knowledge. That, and like I've said in the past, most everybody knew how to work on their cars back in the day. Well, I wouldn't say most everybody, but if you lived on a suburban street or in the city or something like that, and you had a car problem, I can guarantee you there was at least 2, 3, 4, if you lived in the suburbs, 2, 3, 4 neighbors that knew how to fix cars. If you lived in a city, I guarantee you in your one block, there was at least a dozen people who knew how to fix cars. So you could always find somebody on the street that knew how to do stuff. Today, not so much. Getting parts. You had part stores. You didn't have Rock Auto. You didn't have Amazon. You didn't have eBay, to buy parts. When you needed parts, you had to go to a parts store. And you had your local parts stores, which most of you guys, your younger guys, never experienced a local parts store other than AutoZone, Advanced Auto, Napa, stuff like that. That's nothing like the parts stores of the old days. And let me tell you, the parts stores of the old days were something else. That was a place to hang out. It was a business, but it was a culture too. It was what the whole lifestyle was about back then. Other than that, you would have magazines like this CarCraft here, and you would have different things if you needed to fix your car, you'd have to start, scrounging through articles like Tech Talk, where people would ask questions and they would give you answers. And of course, this is in writing, so it's, very non-personal. They tried to be, and they did a pretty good job, but, that's how you got most of your information. And in here too, you got specialty books here, and they would show you, here we got ignition and electrical, cams, valves, exhaust, body and paint, carburetor and fuel, chassis suspension and brakes, basics on clutches and transmissions and automatics and stuff like that. That's how we learned everything. And that's how I learned everything. And you learn by doing and making mistakes and everything else. The other one I wanted to show you is, here's Summit Racing, and this is from 1979, okay? This is how Summit Racing advertised back in 1979. See that? And, you know, if you needed something, you could call and order it. It's nothing like it is today. Today, you can just go one click on your computer and you can order stuff. Not back then. The other thing, too, the other big one, and they're still around, it turns out. I didn't realize it, because they actually reached out to me. They wanted to use one of my videos in one of their advertisements, and I gave them permission. I wanted to use a portion of it, my Step 1 Don't Drain. So I thought that was kind of cool. They asked if they could use it, and I gave them permission. This company, JC Whitney. Remember these guys? So this is before Rock Auto. This is before Amazon. This is before all of them. If you needed parts for your car, this was the place to go. And they had everything in here. And I'm talking here, you got shock absorbers, you know, struts. If you know, struts were rare back then. You could get jack stands. You could get all sorts of different stuff. You get stuff for your RV, custom stuff for your van, like spoilers and everything else. Let's see, what else is in here? You could get radios, okay? Tachometers. It's like all over the board. They got a pretty good list in the back here, the directory of where you could find whatever you're looking for. You could get seat covers. They even had a section for early model cars. But you could get, yeah, for like Model A's and Model T's and stuff like that are in here. Let's see. A Volkswagen and Carmen Ghia. Okay. You could get almost anything and everything you wanted for a Volkswagen in here. They used to have rebuild kits, which I'm sure. Oh yeah, dune buggy stuff. All of that stuff in there. That's pretty cool. I wonder if any of that stuff is still available. But like I said, they are online now. And like I said, they reached out to me to see if they could use my video, which I thought was cool. And it's funny because I had picked this JC Whitney catalog up for the purpose of making this video, and then they reached out to me. So, kind of weird, right? You could get cylinders, because on Volkswagen Beetles back then, the actual cylinders were replacement, like they would slide on. So you could replace the cylinders separate from the block. So if you wanted to bore yours out, you could. They had stuff for import cars. They had, this is where you would get your brakes, tie rod ends, you know, all sorts of stuff. I think they have engines in here too somewhere. Clutches. Let's see, what else have you got? Starters, spark plugs. We're still in import cars. This is where you get your water pumps and everything else. Fans. Burn water in your car. Can you see that? Burn water in your car. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's basically just water injection. Which water injection does work. Yes, it does. Blower motors, you name it. Everything was in here. Ignition wires. They had, like I said, you got a section with tools. You get crimpers and butt connectors and all sorts of stuff like that. You could buy. This is where you bought headers from too, if you wanted headers and everything else. Yeah, it was all kind of cool. Oh, hood ornaments. I forgot about this. Hood ornaments. Now, how snazzy would that be to have hood ornaments like that on your car today? So just here to show you. So I don't even know what year this is. I have no idea what year this magazine is. Has their address and phone number on here. Does it have a year on here? I don't see a year. This has the person who this was originally sent to. It has their name and address. I'm sure in here there's a copyright or a year or something. But there you go. That's like 76-ish Monte Carlo, if I'm not mistaken. 75, 76, something in that, or a Monte Carlo or Chevy Caprices and stuff like that. So this has to be from the mid 70s. Hubcaps. Way cool stuff. Oh, somebody actually marked in here. I guess they needed a wiper motor. See, they actually marked in here around electric wiper motors. I should send in one of these. I should mail in one of these cards. This is one of those mail-in cards so you can get a free catalog. I should mail one in just to see what happens. Oh yeah, you can buy hardware. So yeah, this is really cool. I love stuff like this because this was my childhood. This was my childhood, and I'm sure it was a lot of you guys too, and gals. Oh, you can get motorcycle parts too, and they have a section there with motorcycles. But basically, what I'm getting at with this video is, like I said, today everybody has it way too easy. Back then, you never knew what you were going to get. You're looking at a black and white drawing of the part that you want, and you would read the description and whatever, and then you would mail a check out, and you'd wait and hope one day a part's going to show up, or you could call them, and then you could pay with a credit card, I guess, over the phone. I'm not quite sure how that even worked back then. I don't remember. But it's just, I don't remember, especially don't remember from the 70s. I remember from the late 80s, where you could call up and pay with a credit card over the phone, and, they would write everything down. But yeah, nowadays, or back then, I remember if you wanted something, you would mail a check and then hope that it would get cashed by the people that you were sending it to, and then hope the parts would eventually show up. So you could be waiting, 3-4 months, and you couldn't go and check with UPS or USPS to find out where your package was. That stuff didn't exist back then. So just kind of funny. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I just thought it was a good story for the day. Yeah, we have it pretty easy today, nowadays. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of that. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. And tell me, did you like this story? I thought it was kind of fun. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.